Come on, wait a minute. My door is always open. Come on.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's well this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Afternoon. Ms. Bridgewater, do we have the reset SAP date?
Sure, it's gonna be September the 13th.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Morrow,
Yes,
I do apologize for interrupting. I will need a breakout for position 6 with the ASG and count, Your Honor.
okay.
Thank you.
Any other breakout rooms needed this afternoon? All right, very good. Courtroom 2, are we ready to begin?
Yes, good afternoon, Judge Morrow. This is position 5, Ms. Harkness.
Good afternoon, Ms. Harkness. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 22 CR 005861F with disorderly conduct and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
My name,
Harkness, position 5.
Harkness. First arrest.
Okay.
It is
Ms.
me,
Hayes?
Your Honor.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Falk.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. So the state's recommendation on this case is a $3,000 signature bond, stay away from the courthouse unless conducting legitimate business. This happened yesterday at 2:05 p.m. in Judge Richardson's courtroom. The defendant was, it appears, the parent of a victim who was screaming about her case, her daughter's case. Deputies had to come down and asked her to calm down several times, and then called down to command center for assistance. They began to escort her out. The defendant stated, "Y'all can kiss my ass," lifted up her dress and presented her bottom. And so at that point, she was placed under arrest. And when she was placed under arrest, she tried to pull away from the officer. As this is her first arrest, we have reached out to the DA's office to try to determine what the circumstances were around the case she was there for, but it does appear that she was the parent of a victim in a case, and maybe was upset about the outcome. So we are taking that into consideration on our recommendation, which is why we're recommending a signature bond.
Is it $1,500 per charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have any problem with that, Ms. Gant?
No, Your Honor. However, I would like to shed some information about the situation to perhaps correct the record.
Okay, you're fine, Ms. Gant. Whatever you need to do, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Harkness is 18 years old. She has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area her entire life. She is a Grady baby. She does have family in the Atlanta, Georgia area. She completed high school. However, at this time, she is unemployed. Your Honor, my client denies the allegations, and she informed me that she was actually at court because her brother was brutally murdered. And this was actually the trial of the person who murdered her brother. She saw that her mother, Miss Gladys Harkness, became upset. She tried to go and calm her mother down. The deputies tried to, I guess, prevent her from returning to the courtroom, because in my client's mind, she basically told me that she wanted to be there to basically inquire as to why the defendant murdered her brother, Your Honor, and she became upset because she was not allowed to go back in. Now, she has been in custody since the 29th. She does not know the status of that case, whether or not a verdict had been announced or not. So I am asking that, and I understand that the state is allowing, or the state is unopposed to my client being there for official business. And I would ask that the court see her attendance at this trial as official business, Your Honor. And that's the extent of my argument. Thank you.
Okay, I mean, I think it's official business, and I think that it would also be up to the judge that's in that courtroom. So she won't be limited by me, but if she's limited by the other judge, then that's up to him or her.
Your Honor, I know that the last time we had an issue similar to this, one of the things that we did was that she had to have basically a deputy escort her to the courtroom. I know that this has come up one other time where there has been a disruption in the courtroom because of the result of a case. I think it was a murder case as well, and that was the result. I will reach out to the DA's office and see, kind of try to see if I can find out the status of the case for Ms. Gant and her client, and see if if Judge Richardson will allow her to come back to the courtroom.
And the defense would be unopposed to that such supervision or escort, Your Honor, police escort.
Okay, so it'll be a $1,500 signature bond through the jail for both counts, making for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. If she does have official business that is in the courthouse, she can return for that. Official business does include if her brother is still on trial, she may have a deputy escort her to the courtroom. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Okay, does that sound fine with counsel?
State
Yes,
has
Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you, Ms. Harkness.
You too, thank you. Position 13, Sparrow.
Good afternoon, Miss. Is it Spurrell or Spurl?
Good afternoon, and it's Squirrel.
Well, good afternoon, Ms. Spurl. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes,
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005854C with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest. 2021, possession of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance. The controlled substance was dismissed according to the GCRC.
Okay.
I'm handling this one, Your Honor.
Mr. Dudley, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on August 29, 2022 at 815 H3 Myrtle Street in Roswell, Georgia. The victim, Ayla, A-Y-L-A Bryson, and the defendant had an argument about Miss Bryson leaving because she could not put up with the defendant's brother anymore. The defendant became upset, held her on the bed by her arms. Miss Bryson stated that she attempted to leave, but the defendant would not allow her to. Officers arrived and observed a small fresh cut on Miss Bryson's neck and some redness on her arms. The responding officer was able to see a video footage recorded on the defendant's brother's phone. His name was Barrett. The video footage showed there was a loud argument coming from the room Miss Bryson and the defendant were in, and then it shows the defendant sitting on top of Miss Bryson before getting up and running out of the room. Your Honor, we're going to recommend a $2,000 surety bond with no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location until police can verify that Ms. Bryson is no longer living there, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Okay. Ms. Melnick, good afternoon.
how are you?
I'm
Yes.
doing fine. You are confusing me a bit.
No, that's why I put the PD there.
It's
Yes,
good.
Your Honor.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, this is, she has no prior history. And the 815 Myrtle Street, apartment H3 in Roswell, that is Miss Burrell's mother's address. So that is neither of their residents. It was the mother's address. So we are asking for, since she has no prior history, we're asking for a signature bond in the amount of $1,000. And we're asking for her to be able to return to the location. If not, she can, if the court wishes to have verification, she can stay with a friend. She did start a new job at Roswell Nursing Home.
Okay, and so the victim and Ms. Sproul don't live together?
That is correct, Your Honor. This is the, like I said, the
Okay.
Miss Sproul's mother's apartment.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Dudley?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, it's a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with the alleged victim, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Ms. Brewer.
Thank you. Position 9, Malo.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malloy. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005850A with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
The eighth arrest. Last arrest was 2021 probation. Got an open ag assault in Superior Court. Possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission and terroristic threats. 22 SC 183231 on probation in Fulton for ag assault. In 2013, they gave her 10 years probation. 06 SC 50194.
That it? That's it, Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place on August 29th, 2022 at 2145 O'Hara Place, Southeast. The defendant battered the victim, excuse my pronunciation, Takiria, and it's going to be spelled TYKIRAYAH Robinson, by throwing an object after a verbal altercation, causing a small open wound on the victim's forehead. As pretrial mentioned, the defendant does have an aggravated assault, family violence, open case with the same victim in 2019. In that case, she was out on a $4,000 signature bond that was signed by Judge Arnett Mumford, and with the conditions of no violent contact with the victim, which, according to the circumstances of this case, she has violated. And Your Honor, she also has arrest for aggravated battery, simple battery in the year 2000, reckless conduct in 2004, aggravated assault in 2005, terroristic threats and acts in 2012. She was convicted of felony aggravated assault in 2013 and possession of firearm or knife during commission of an attempt to commit certain felonies in 2013. And for those reasons, her criminal history, Your Honor, and her violating the conditions of her bond, the state is going to recommend a $2,500 cash bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client is 43 years old. She tells me that she has an 11th grade education. She is not currently employed because she is disabled. She tells me that she is the primary caretaker for her 6-year-old grandchild, which occupies a lot of her time. The alleged victim is apparently her daughter. She tells me that her daughter has significant issues and that her daughter actually pulled a gun on her. It was my understanding that her daughter was also arrested, Your Honor, but I'm not sure. My client denies that she was the primary aggressor in this case, Your Honor. As I said, she's not employed. She doesn't have any money to post bond. She does tell me that she can live somewhere else because apparently they all live together and have lived together for some time. But she did tell me that she plans to go to stay with her dad. I'd ask the court to take all of this into consideration and set a bond for her. And as for her history on it, it's fairly remote. She tells me that she has not been in trouble for a very long time and has been trying to stay out of trouble. I believe the last thing that was mentioned was in 2013. That's almost 10 years ago, Your Honor.
Okay. It's going to be a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Robinson. Stay away from the 2145 O'Hara Place address. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Malloy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, Miss Robinson is not in custody. I just double checked.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor, Judge Morrow.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Position 7, Jordan Lee.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jordan Leaks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005848A with deposit account fraud. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
13 total. 12 come out of Delaware. Last arrest was 2020 for assault. It was non-profit. 2019 failure to have insurance identification, operation of unregistered vehicle. 2019 another assault that was dismissed. 2019 traffic, another 2019 traffic. It's a lot of traffic in here. I didn't see any fraud. 2015 assault, that was dismissed as well. 2011 shoplifting. That's it.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place on November 15th, 2021 at 51950 Old National Highway. Blanca Call, an employee of AR Financial Services, stated that the defendant came into the business to cash a check in the amount of $1,250, which was later verified as being previously deposited via a mobile banking application. The manager of AR Financial Services, Sharif Mirza, received the return status of the check being previously cashed and reached out to the defendant by phone. The defendant stated that she wasn't aware that her mom had done the mobile deposit on the check prior. The defendant refused to pay back the amount which was withdrawn and blocked Sharif Mirza's business number, which prevented him from contacting the defendant further. Your Honor, the defendant does have arrest in 2008 for embezzlement and 2011 for larceny. And the state has a concern that she might be a potential flight risk or have a lack of community ties, considering the bulk of her history is in Delaware. And we're going to recommend a $3,000 signature bond through PTS, pretrial services, and a stay away from the incident location.
All right, I'm going to have the $3,000 signature bond go through the jail, and she's going to have a 5195 stay away. Ms. Melnick?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. She had actually went to
Ms. Melnick,
oh,
they requested a signature bond.
okay. I was asking for 1,000. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you said a $1,000 surety bond?
Yeah, no, it says a $1,000 signature bond.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misheard you.
No.
It'll be unless there's, since it's going to be a signature bond,
Okay.
a $3,000 signature bond through the jail and stay away from Old National Highway. Is that
Okay,
fine?
thank you.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Jordan Leaks.
Position 8, Lancaster.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lancaster. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 22 CR 005849C with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Do I have any questions?
I'm not sure. My coworker got that file because he went to felony. So I have to get it. That's I defer to the state.
Yeah.
Do you have the history, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was arrested for terroristic threats and acts in 2005, aggravated assault in 2005, and simple battery in 2005, battery in 2007, fighting in 2014, and 2 counts of aggravated assault and aggravated battery in 2018. The defendant was convicted for disorderly conduct in 2006, battery in 2008, and a battery again in 2018. Your Honor, this incident took place on September 10th, 2021 at 279 Flowers Place Northwest. The defendant was under the influence of alcohol when he dragged the victim, Tara Bridges, from outside of the house into the house by her hair. Once in the house, the defendant punched her in the mouth and in the left eye. The defendant choked her with one arm and twisted her left arm with the other arm. And Ms. Bridges had to play dead for the defendant to get up from on top of her body. Ms. Bridges stated that she suffered a black left eye and that her mouth and left wrist were swollen. I went through his criminal history earlier, but the defendant does have an open case for aggravated assault, family violence, and battery family violence against this same victim. And that case number is going to be 22CP211899. He was given a total bond of $55,000 with the conditions to have no further contact with Tara Bridges, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. This bond was signed by Judge Rashida Oliver. The state is going to recommend a $5,000 cash bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Ms. Melnick.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court were to consider releasing the defendant, he does have a separate address at 2799 Alta View Drive here in Atlanta, Georgia. We have no objection to the stay away and to have no contact and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. We are asking for a $5,000 signature bond, SOB bond.
It's going to be a $7,500 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Bridges, stay away from the 279 Flowers Place address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Mr. Lancaster, let me make it quite clear to you that stay away means no further contact means absolutely no further contact. It certainly does not mean any personal contact. You can have no personal contact, no internet contact, no phone contact, no contact whatsoever with Ms. Bridges. If you do, you'll be in violation of this order. People sometimes tell me that they did not know that they had to stay away, but you're going to know that I'm not going to get that excuse if you come back before me, because I'm telling you specifically what no further contact means. Ms. Melnick, your client has his hand raised.
Thank you.
Mr. Lancaster, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. I'm happy to let you speak with Ms. Melnick at some point, but what you say may not be in your best interest.
Mr. Lancaster, I'm recommending that you do not say anything at this time.
I would like to decline your request and still speak to the court, please.
Mr. Lancaster, I'm urging you not to say anything at this time. It can be used against you at further court of law.
Okay, would like for it to come up for what I'm going to say. I reached out to the city of Atlanta 5 separate times through my relationship with Ms. Tara Bridges at 279 Flowers Place. And I begged the city of Atlanta for help during this domestic dispute over 5 different times. If you check my name throughout the police reports, you will see how many documented cases I've had of abuse from Ms. Tara Bridges. I am just bringing this up to the court that I have reported numerous cases of abuse from Tara Bridges. She even shot at me, and I have a police report, but they never helped me do any of this.
Mr. Lancaster, you're going to be able to bring that up at some future time, but what I'm What I'm telling you is that you had a previous no contact with Ms. Bridges. Had you not violated that no contact order, and you're gonna say what everybody says to me. I didn't know about it. Okay, so that that is, your attorney can give you that that bond at some further time, but now you're hearing from me that there's not to be any further contact, and I'm going on what the state is telling me, that you were not to have any further contact by another judge at a previous time. So I don't take kindly when you violate orders, and you would not be in any of this alleged trouble if you had not violated that order and been around Ms. Bridges. So, okay.
I have not received the order. I have been gone from Ms. Bridges' location for over a year. I've been trying to retrieve my property from Ms. Bridges. She has my vehicle, my personal documents. Like I said earlier, Your Honor, thank you for your attention, and thank you for the court, that I have requested help from the city of Atlanta through 911 over 5 times, documented, before any of the incidents that happened, because my life was almost taken because she took a shot at me there on 279 Flowers Place, and the video records was showed from the fire department across the street located.
Okay,
And I have
you will have a chance.
She into my home and nobody helped me. The scenario had always been flipped back towards me because of my criminal history in the past. I've been free, done my time in prison for my past sins, but I cannot allow the court to possibly think I would violate an order that was verbally told to me to stay away from television. I don't want anything to do with her because she frightens me, because she shot a gun at me.
Okay. Mr. Lancaster, if you don't make bond, I will personally see you back on the state all-purpose calendar in 2 weeks, and you'll have an attorney representing you at that point in time. And whatever arguments you want to make, I'm happy to address them at that point in time. My bond order remains as it's been stated. Good luck to you, Mr. Lancaster.
Thank you.
Position 2, Campos.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Campo. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Campo. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005858E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
5th arrest. Last arrest was back in March. FTA shoplifting. January 2021 shoplifting. 2020, it says underage consumption of alcohol. That was a conviction. 2019 battery, false imprisonment, and disorderly conduct. The false imprisonment was amended to disorderly conduct, but they were accused out of Duluth, so it appears that they're still open. So they not recommended to do that. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Falk?
Oh, we got a hold out of Duluth too. I'm sorry. That's it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. That case in Gwinnett County is actually closed. I received the Senate sheet and the accusation, well, the indictment from Gwinnett County. He was sentenced to 24 months probation on that case starting in July of 2019. So his probation terminated about a year ago before this incident happened. This incident happened on August 20th of 2022 at approximately 9 p.m. at 3535 Roswell Road Northeast. The victim in this case, Myra Lopez, and that is M-A-I-R-A, Lopez, L-O-P-E-Z, was his girlfriend at the time. We did have spoken to her through an interpreter, and she is actually present as well as an interpreter, and she has asked to speak in this case. But he struck her, causing bruising and swelling to her forehead. We do have pictures, and the swelling is pretty significant to her forehead. They have actually been together for 5 months and have been cohabitating for approximately 1 month. And as I have stated, the defendant has a previous battery in Gwinnett County against a different woman. It was not family violence, but it was against a female victim, and he did receive 2 years probation in that case. So we do have some serious concerns about the likelihood of reoffense here, being that we have the prior battery offense and now a new offense against a different woman. We have spoken to Ms. Lopez. She stated she is filing a TPO. She is afraid of him. We are asking for a $5,000 surety bond. We are requesting family violence intervention program instead of 1-day anger management due to this being his second offense. We are asking for no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from Ms. Lopez and no further contact, and a stay away from her address. I will put in the chat her address. It is different than the 3535 Roswell Road address that she gave us, that is the stay away address. And again, Ms. Lopez is on the line and she would like to speak on behalf of this case, and we do have the interpreter here.
Thank you, Ms. Falk. Ms. Gant, would you like me to hear from Ms. Lopez first?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Louise Campos is 23 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area. In fact, he's born and raised here. He does have family here, including a daughter, age 1.5 years old. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location, Your Honor. Well, my client tells me that he does not live at the incident location. I am not sure of what the complaining witness's address is, but he wanted contact. I was unable to reach her because he didn't provide a number, and apparently from the state, she doesn't want to have contact. So we are unopposed to any stay away and no contact orders. My client advises me that he does not have any personal belongings at the incident location, so we will not need a one-time law enforcement escort. Mr. Campos completed high school. He also has 2 semesters of college where he studied computer information systems. He is currently employed at Northside Tree Services full-time. He denies the allegations. In fact, he states that he was in the process of moving out, and that Ms. Lopez basically, he believes that she is a person who's obsessive and tries to prevent him from leaving. He states that he did not make any physical contact with her. He states that let me just make sure it's the right person. He denies physical contact with him, and whenever he tries to leave, she does things to prevent him from leaving. And that is the extent of it, Your Honor. I do acknowledge my client's history. However, we heard that he completed his probation without any violations. I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. We are opposed to the FVIP, as that presupposes guilt. And at this stage, he is presumed innocent. And again, we are unopposed to the no contact and the stay away orders. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Interpreter.
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm that you will translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
I do, sir.
Yes, Courtroom 2, there's a witness that needs an interpreter.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was for Mr. Campos.
No, you're fine. And will you sound for Ms. Lopez and let Ms. Lopez know that if she would like to speak, that she'll have to activate her camera and I'll have to swear her in.
Señora López, Mayra López, si usted quiere hablar con el señor juez, debe prender su cámara y el micrófono para juramentarla. Mayra López, ¿me puede escuchar?
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Lopez. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Buenas tardes, señora López, puede levantar su mano derecha. Puede levantar su mano Gracias.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you like to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura o afirma que la declaración que dará ante este tribunal será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad? I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down, ma'am.
Puede bajar su mano.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
¿Qué quiere decirle al juez? Acérquese al micrófono. Your Honor, I cannot hear.
Okay. It doesn't look as though she's muted. It may be that she does not have,
Volume, maybe. ¿Puede chequear el volumen o si el micrófono está conectado con el de la computadora? O si hay alguien que le ayude.
Ms. Champion, are you hosting this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that she has any problems with her audio?
No, I don't. She probably will need to log out and log back in and join with audio.
Okay, can you tell her that, Madam Interpreter? Thank you.
Señora López, usted debe firmar donde dice leave o el botón rojo, salir de la plataforma y volver a entrar. A veces eso funciona y hace trabajar el micrófono porque no la podemos escuchar. ¿Me entendió? Tiene que volver, salir y volver a entrar, por favor.
Okay, can we go on to someone else while we await Ms. Lopez coming on with this?
And Your Honor, I do apologize for interrupting. If I may, I misread my notes. It appears that Mr. Campos will need a one-time law enforcement escort to the incident location.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Camp.
And if I could have the case.
Hold on, Courtroom Two. Let me see if she is going to come back on in the next few seconds.
And Ms. Gant, is that address different than the address I put in the chat?
It is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Gann, could I have the case number, please?
Sure, I will place it in the chat for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's come back to Mr. Campos to see if Ms. Lopez joins us.
She just joined back on, Judge.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna switch back to it. Come on, Campos.
Señora Mayra López, ¿me puede escuchar? Debe encender la cámara y el micrófono, por favor. Señora López, ¿me escucha?
There's something in the chat that's in Spanish, but I
think she left.
No, she says she can hear us. I don't think we can hear her.
Your Honor, would it be useful if I give my phone number, my business phone number, so she can call me and I can interpret for you that way?
Yes, that's fine. If you will let her know that.
Señora López, por favor, llámeme a este teléfono. ¿Puede encender su cámara? Can you turn on the camera? Señora, llámeme por teléfono. ¿Tiene con qué escribir? ¿Tiene teléfono? Ok, este es el teléfono 678-897-1186. Otra vez, 678-897-1186. Por favor, llámeme, pero no apague la cámara. Llámeme, así podemos escucharla. ¿Me escucha? Your Honor, we can hear each other.
Okay, what would she like to tell the court?
Oh, we got disconnected. Would you like me to put her on speaker, Your Honor?
That's fine, thank you.
Llámeme de nuevo. For some reason, we get disconnected.
Your call has been forwarded. Automated voice messaging system.
La estoy llamando.
Your call has been forwarded.
What is her
Automated
phone?
voice messaging system.
What is her phone number? Maybe you can call her.
Yes, I tried twice, but we get cut off. Señora López, la estoy llamando yo a usted. Ok, un momento.
Aló, ¿me escuchan? Aló, ¿me escuchan? Aló.
Let me try one more time. Sí, yo le escucho. There's a little echo, but I will try. El juez le pregunta qué quiere usted decirle y hágame pausa, por favor. Yes, you can speak. I have pictures and a video, not when he's hitting me, but when he's being aggressive with me. See. And on that video, he says that he won't hit me anymore.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. She appears to be testifying about something unrelated to the incident at hand.
Your Honor, this is applicable to the Ayala factor of witness intimidation as well as with risk of reoffense, as P.D. Gant, I'm sure knows.
What else does she have to say, Madam Interpreter?
¿Qué más quiere usted decir? What he says about not hitting me is a lie. ¿Qué más? I have sufficient proof to show that what he's
Objection, Your
saying
Honor.
is
This
not.
is neither a trial nor preliminary hearing. We would need notice for that so that we can also subpoena witnesses as well.
Madam Interpreter, tell her to speak to this incident if she wants to regarding this matter.
I don't remember the time very well, but on Sunday I received a call. He said that he was not feeling well, that he was lost. And so I went to pick him up. He was at a McDonald's, drunk, falling down on the ground.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. I would ask that this witness limit.
Your Honor, sorry.
If I may
didn't mean to interrupt. Ms. Gant.
conclude my request, thank you. I would ask that the complaining witness limit her testimony to whether or not she wants to have contact, and I believe that she has made that abundantly clear.
And Your Honor, my response to that would be witness is merely answering the question that Your Honor just asked, which is if she could limit it to what happened to her. But she is trying to answer that question.
Well,
So
I would,
she
I
is
would.
not going beyond the scope of, if I may, Ms. Gant, I apologize
may.
for interrupting you. So she is not going beyond the scope of what was asked of her, is what I am saying.
Well, Your Honor, with all due respect, I hear her talking about what happened at McDonald's. I believe that goes beyond whether or not she wants to have contact with my client.
And she's not limited to just whether she wants to have contact with the defendant.
Okay. I don't know, have to know about all the McDonald's or those types of specifics, Madam Interpreter. Would you please ask her to speak to the incident at issue? I don't know if McDonald's has anything to do with it or not, because I don't know what was Sunday, the August 20th. I don't know.
If I may, Your Honor, the incident location is not at a McDonald's. It's at a residence.
I understand that, but I don't know if this led up to, if this has any relevance to what happened on 8/20 or not, because I haven't heard enough information. Madam Interpreter, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
What is she saying?
Actually, she's listening to all of you.
Oh, okay. Tell her to tell me what happened on August 20th that caused her to either call the police or however, law enforcement got involved.
Dígame qué fue lo que le causó llamar a la policía o hacer que la fuerza del orden se involucrara en esto. Okay, deme un momento. When I took him to the apartment, I asked him to take a shower. Ajá, ¿qué más? He didn't want to. He started cooking and I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, he had a knife in his hand. He asked me a favor to take his life because he wasn't brave enough to do it himself.
What did he do to you, Ms. Lopez?
¿Qué le
Tell me,
hizo
tell
él
me
a
what he did
usted?
to you.
Dígame qué le hizo a él a usted directamente. When I said no, he just slapped me very hard. And then he punched me on the forehead and my arm, and I have pictures. ¿Algo más? Then he didn't let me go and called his ex-wife and asked her if she wanted him to kill me. She said no. And then she hung up the phone and ended the call. He asked me to promise something. That was a lesson for me. So I wouldn't allow any other man to mistreat me again. When he got distracted, I was able to run away towards my car. And he followed me. I went to Marietta, to friend's house, who helped me to contact the police. And then I showed the police the video, the pictures, and they left and to go arrest him, and he denied being Louise Campos when they contacted him. And he denied he knew me also. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lopez.
Gracias.
Anything further from council?
Nothing
Nothing
further
further,
from
Your
the
Honor.
state,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, other than to renew our motion for the $5,000 surety bond, as well as the stay away from the address that I have put in the chat for Ms. Bridgewater and Ms. Gant, and the domestic violence classes.
Ms. Gant?
And again, Your Honor, we are opposed to FVIP, and I am requesting again a signature bond, or if he's ineligible, a bond of no more than $1,000. And just to conclude, despite what we've heard here today, my client enjoys the presumption of innocence. This is not a trial. It's a bond hearing. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be a $3,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Lopez, stay away from Ms. Lopez's address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. And just so that you understand, Mr. Campos, no contact means absolutely no contact. No contact by phone, no personal contact, certainly, no contact by social media, no contact whatsoever. If you have any contact with Ms. Lopez, you are in violation of this order and the bond will be withdrawn. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Clear mic, if I may ask, what is a good bond, sir?
Mr. Campos, please remain silent. I will give you a call to answer your questions about bond.
My apologies.
Okay,
Please repeat the bond.
a $3,000 good bond.
Thank you.
All right. Madam Interpreter, will you let the Ms. Lopez know what my bond order was? And once you have done that, unless you're needed for any other case, you're free to go. Thank you.
I have, Your Honor. I've been speaking while you said
Okay, thank you.
all the information. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank
to
you, Your Honor. Have a good evening. Buenas
You
tardes.
Do the
Buenas.
same.
Position 1, Campbell, you're done.
Good afternoon, Mr. Campbell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, you've been charged in case 22 CR 005857E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard? This is first arrest. Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on August 27th at 3:30 p.m. at 3130 Desert Drive, Apartment 1 in East Point. We have spoken to Ms. Tracy. She's stating that she and the defendant are married, although the warrant said they were girlfriend and boyfriend. Miss Ashaki, and I apologize if I am mispronouncing her name, Ashaki, Tracy, Tracey, live at that residence together, and the defendant at the time during a verbal altercation with Ms. Tracy bit her finger, resulting in swelling and substantial bleeding, and that's according to the officer's observations. Although this is their first offense, his first offense, we did speak to Ms. Tracy. She stated that they were arrested in East Point earlier for disorderly conduct due to a previous altercation. So we are very concerned about the risk of reoffense here, since there has been other altercations between the two parties. We have concerns about them being around each other at this time. The recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, stay away from the address at Desert Drive, and no further contact with Ms. Tracy. I believe Ms. Tracy is on the line, and she is on the Zoom today, and I don't know if she wishes to speak, but she did tell our victim advocate that this is not the first time the defendant has been physically violent with her. So although she does want him to return back to the home, we do have those concerns based on her statement that there was a prior disorderly conduct as well as this case, which is why we're asking for the no further contact. Nothing further from the state.
Thank you, Ms. Camp.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Santino Campbell is 34 years old. He was born in Jamaica, but has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since 2018. He is married and has been so for almost 2 years. He is father of 2 children, a 10-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. We are opposed to the stay away and the no contact provisions, Your Honor. I did have the occasion to speak with Ms. Tracy, and she informed me that she wants to continue having contact with her husband. Mr. Campbell completed high school. He is currently employed in a home business or self-employed. It's a diesel mechanic business. He has been in business for about 4 to 5 months. However, he tells me that it's not quite profitable yet, that it is a new business. My client denies the allegations, and Your Honor, I'm relying on pretrial's report that this is his first arrest, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond. The report that I received states that he is recommended, and if Your Honor determines he's ineligible, then a bond of no more than $1,000. We are, again, opposed to the stay away and the no contact orders. And if Your Honor orders my client to stay away, I would ask for third-party transfer and a one-time law enforcement escort. Thank you.
Ms. Tracy, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do that. You are not required to do that. However, if you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, come on camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Again, Ms. Tracy. Okay, Ms. Tracy, would you like to address the court?
As far as what?
Can you hear me, Ms. Tracy?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, would you like to address the court in this matter?
No.
Okay. Your husband's attorney is requesting that that he return to the home. If I don't hear from you regarding that, I'm not inclined to allow him to return to the home at this point in time, but I certainly
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I told her it was okay for him to return home.
Okay, but apparently there's been some discussion that this has occurred in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got arrested, I think back, I'm not sure what the date is for disorderly conduct, the both of us, but I'm making preparation for us to both go to marriage counseling.
Okay. Are you afraid of him?
No.
All right. Anything else you'd like to tell the court?
No, sir.
All right. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Tracy, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. If you get into any disputes while you're out on bond, Mr. Campbell, this bond will be revoked and you will be placed back into custody. Good luck to you, sir. You also, ma'am.
And Your Honor, I just want my objection noted for the record, especially in regards to the no further violent contact. If they have been arrested before for disorderly conduct, marriage counseling is not going to fix this at this point. This is growing more serious.
Okay, objection noted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who do we have next?
Position 12, Smith.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 22 CR 005853E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Coworker got that history too.
Do you have the history, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant was arrested in 2006 for armed robbery, aggravated assault, possession of firearm or knife during commission of attempt to commit certain felonies, hijacking a motor vehicle. This all fell under the First Offenders Act for him, and he has an FTA. And for 2022, he's been convicted of theft by shoplifting. Your Honor, this incident took place June 5th, 2022 at 5150 Thompson Road, apartment 5201. Your Honor, the defendant snatched the victim, Keosha, Keosha, Lewis's vehicle keys from out of her hand during a verbal altercation. And Miss Lewis, as a result, had 2 separate lacerations on her right hand and her little finger. Your Honor, the two share a child together, and that gives the state concerns that the defendant could influence the witness. The state is going to recommend a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact, stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Also, a third-party transfer for the child.
And what did he go to felony for? What charge?
Your Honor, he had a arrest for armed robbery, aggravated assault, possession of firearm or knife during commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, and he was hijacking a motor vehicle. That was in 2006.
Okay, well, I'm being told that he has a $15,500 bond for some incident today. And I'm just asking what that, do you know what that is, Ms. Melnick?
No, Your Honor, I believe it was for when he went to court earlier on the armed robbery from 2006.
Yeah, possession of a controlled substance. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon.
Okay, so that was the felony bond today. Thank you, Mr. Allen.
And obstruction and possession of drug-related objects.
All right, Ms. Melnick?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke to Mr. Smith. This is simply a snatching of car keys out of the hand. I am going to take note and argue about the state said that there's an influence of the victim because they had a child together. There is absolutely no indication that there is any type of influence. And if we went down the rabbit hole of every person that had children together would be influenced, then that would be a very interesting argument. So I would take exception to that. It's simply a snatch. If my client was released, he would go to 522 English Avenue here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are asking for $1,000 signature balance for the snatch of car keys.
All right, it's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Keosha Lewis. Stay away from the 5150 Thompson Road address. Third-party transfer of any minor children, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Smith, let me just let you know that no contact means absolutely no contact, no phone contact, no email contact, no social media contact, no contact whatsoever. If you have contact with Ms. Lewis, I'm not going to restrict you from, you can have contact with Ms. Lewis, but I'm not going to restrict you from seeing your child, but you'll have to have a third party intervene for visitation.
Can I just ask a question?
Knowing Mr. Smith that you have a right to remain silent, anything you say can be used against you.
I'm not going to incriminate myself, sir. And I understand that, and I appreciate you for, re-Mirandaizing me or whatever, but what if Keosha,
Don't allow it. Whatever, because you're the one that's sitting in jail. So if she tries to reach out to you, don't respond. Don't take any phone calls. Don't allow her to be around you.
But I got a 2-year-old daughter by her, sir. How do you?
Okay, so third party. I'm allowing you to have third party transfer. So you'll have to get someone that can speak with her and come to some terms as far as you having visitation. Okay. But you can't do it yourself with her directly. You understand?
I guess.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Mr. Smith.
You too.
Position 3, Chasen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chasen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005859D with battery family violence. Your history, Mr. Howard?
8 total. Last arrest was failed to appear on July 25th out of Walton County. July 13th, Athens, Clark County, giving false name, identity theft fraud, use of identification of another without consent. It's open. April arrest for driving without a valid license. Led no load. There's an Athens, Clark County hold. 2014 arrest for burglary, fraud, possession of ID information for false statements. Couple of counts of those out of Vegas, Nevada. Pled guilty to the theft. 2017 theft, pled guilty to that as well. Yeah, some out of California. Last arrest in California was in 2013 for burglary. That was a conviction. 2011 grand theft.
Okay, Ms. Falk? We can't hear you. You're on mute, Ms. Falk.
My apologies. This incident happened August 28th at 9:08 at 1197 Virginia Avenue Northeast. Miss Catherine Laveau, Catherine spelled with a C, but otherwise common spelling, Laveau, Laveau, had a swollen lip from a fall that had happened earlier. She stated the defendant pushed her in the chest to the floor, which caused bruises to her knees. The defendant was then taken into custody as a result of this. As pretrial has stated, and I don't know if they went over all of his history, we're showing cycles in Nevada, California, and Florida. He also has the Athens Clark County hold, as well as the FTA, which was fairly recent. I believe it was only a month ago that he had an FTA. So we've got a defendant who has seemingly not that many ties with the community based on his multi-state record. He has an FTA as of recently, which is kind of not a great risk of returning, not great for his risk of his surety of returning to court. And we have an incident that resulted in bruising to Ms. Laveau. The state is requesting a $3,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away order from 1197 Virginia Avenue, and no further contact with Ms. Laveau.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Camp?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Chazon, Nicholas Chazon is 37 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 2 years. He has friends in this area. Your Honor, Mr. Chazon completed high school. He also has a bachelor's degree in film. He is currently employed as a customer service representative full-time. He denied the allegations. He informed me that the complaining witness, Ms. Laveau, actually attacked him as he was trying to leave his apartment. He states that she has, if you will, some medical issues that would, I guess, contribute to her behavior. Your Honor, did not have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Laveau. I would just bring that to the court's attention. He informs me that Ms. Laveau actually tripped and fell on the trash can, and that is how the injury to her lip occurred. And he also states that during this altercation, she scratched his face, and he basically was trying to prevent her from hitting him, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Chazon's behalf. I do acknowledge my client's history. However, I would bring to the court's attention that he stated that the FTA in July of 22 was because of his diagnosis of COVID. He informs me that he notified the court. However, they did not, for whatever reason, take that into consideration. We did not hear about any longstanding history of violence. He is presumed innocent in this and any other open cases. And again, I would just request the signature bond, or in the alternative, a bond of no more than $1,000. We are unopposed to the no contact orders, as I have not had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Laveau. And it is my understanding that he does not need a law enforcement escort to retrieve belongings. But if I may just clarify that with my client. Mr. Chazon, will you need to return to that incident location once to retrieve any belongings?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't need to return to that. Most of the belongings that I don't need to know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Your Honor, we are not requesting a one-time law enforcement escort.
And they do live together at that residence according to the warrant, Your Honor.
Okay. It'll be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Virginia Avenue address. No further contact with Ms. Laveau. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position
Judge,
four.
I didn't quite get that amount. What was that amount again?
It was $1,000 good bond.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, court, what position?
Position 4, Daniels.
Good afternoon, Mr. Darius. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 22 CR 005860F with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
15 total. Last arrest was 2021 for battery, possession of meth out of Clayton County. 2010 probation, sale of marijuana conviction, 2010. Possession of cocaine and sale of marijuana conviction as well from 2010. Got a sale of marijuana, possession of a knife, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of a knife or a firearm during a commission. Those were convictions from 2010. 07 probation.
Okay, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. And just to let the court know that case in Clayton County does have an accusation number. It's 2021 CR 00599. It is still an open pending case in Clayton County. So there is no resolution on that case at this time. And that was for the incident that happened in January 2021 that included possession of methamphetamine. So this occurred on August 29th, 2022 at 3843 Jonesboro Road in Atlanta. Officers observed the defendant standing in front of the Exxon gas station holding a clear plastic baggie. When he saw the officers, he immediately hid the item, tried to stuff it inside of his pants, yelled, "I don't have nothing, I don't have nothing." And then when the officer went to approach him and asked him to place his hands behind his back, he took off running, threw an object into a wooded area. The officers were able to retrieve the item, which was 10.9 grams of marijuana in a plastic baggie, and were able to apprehend the defendant. As the pretrial has already stated, this defendant has 14 cycles. I don't think a single cycle that I could find had something that wasn't connected with drugs. He had a marijuana less than an ounce conviction, possession of marijuana in 2006 and 2007 and 2011 and 2012. 2 in 2012, a 2011 probation violation, and then this current arrest for possession of methamphetamine. So the defendant's history is essentially completely a drug history. For that reason, the state is requesting an alcohol drug evaluation and treatment. We are asking for a stay away from the Exxon at 3843 Jonesboro Road. Currently, the bond is set at $4,000 surety bond. We are recommending that be reduced to $2,000 surety bond. That's $1,000 per charge. And that is the state's recommendation. And no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Ms. Camp?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Alvin Daniels is 35 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has a 13-year-old son. He also has other family members here in Atlanta. Mr. Daniels completed high school. He also went on to obtain certifications from Atlanta Area Tech, HVAC certification, also as a forklift operator. He is currently employed. He tells me that he is a professional comedian, full-time. He states that he is missing shows that are scheduled today, as well as upcoming tour dates. Mr. Daniels denies the allegations. He states that he had a cell phone and keys in his hand. He denies having any plastic objects in his hand. And if I just may bring to the court's attention, the warrant that I read states that he tossed the item and that the marijuana, the clear bag, was found search incident to arrest of his person and not the wooded area. Regarding my client's history, he has had some problems, but I believe, Your Honor, that those are remote offenses. There's no indication whatsoever that the state has set forth that my client needs any treatment for drug and alcohol issues. I am opposed to the ADET. We are unopposed to the stay away. I am requesting a signature bond. And if Your Honor determines that he's ineligible, I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. That will be $500 for each count. And lastly, Your Honor, I would bring to the court's attention, my client has a bandage above his eye. At least that was the case in his mugshot. He told me that the officer approached him in an aggressive manner, and he had been hearing rumors that the particular cop that arrested him had threatened to kill him or do some bodily harm to him. So he was deathly afraid of this cop. He states that he has to get stitches in his eye. He was punched and kicked by this police officer, and I would just bring that to the court's attention as well. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so for the marijuana possession, $250 good bond, obstruction, a $500 good bond, total of $750 good bond, stay away from the X sign on Jonesboro Road, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I do apologize for interrupting. If I may ask that the marijuana or either the other charge be increased. If he gets a bond less than $1,000, he will have to pay the entire amount to bond out.
Okay, so $500 for both charges. That makes it $1,000 good bond.
And Your Honor,
Thank
the
you,
state
Mayor.
would renew our request for an ADET. The last arrest was in 2021. I don't see how that is remote, but it was for possession of methamphetamine, and his record is essentially a drug history record.
Okay, if he is still in custody at the SAP calendar, then we'll address it at that point in time. If he's not, then they can address that at his next hearing. Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Daniels.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 10, Nixon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nixon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Nixon, you have been charged in case 22 CR 0058518 with driving while license suspended or revoked. Mr. Deli, you going to ask for a good bond on this?
We're going to request a $3,000 signature bond and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
How much?
$3,000 signature bond.
I'm going to make it $1,000 signature bond through the jail and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you, Ms. Melnick?
Yes, Your Honor, that's exactly what I was going to ask for.
And Your Honor, and no driving without a license.
Of course not. You know, Mr. Nixon, you know, if you don't have a valid license, you can't be on the roadway, okay?
Judge, you said $1,000 signature bond through the jail?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you. You're done. Okay.
I thought, was it through the, I'm sorry, Your Honor, was it through the jail or was it,
It's through the jail.
okay, yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. Who do we have next?
Position 11, Partridge.
Oh, man, shit. Whoa. Good afternoon, Mr. Partridge. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Partridge, you've been charged in case 22 CR 005852G with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
11 total. Last arrest was 2018, theft by taking. Let's see, a theft by receiving, auto, loading, filing, obstruction. 12 SC 106712. On probation in Douglas County for burglary. Also for riot in a penal institution. The 2018 theft by taking, that was a conviction from Fulton County. Burglary, 2012 false name conviction, 2008 ag assault conviction, obstruction conviction, 2008. Something else. And a theft by receiving.
All right, Mr. Dudley.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place on August 29th, 2022 at 1752 Cheshire Bridge Road. The defendant entered the backyard of the property of the victim, Marks McHale, M-I-K-E-I-L, for the last name spelled out his consent, and by going onto the property, he passed signs that read "No trespassing." The defendant had an active warrant out of Douglas County for probation violation for the robbery mentioned by pretrial. He also had an active warrant out of DeKalb County for battery. He was also been arrested, or he also had an FTA in 2007. Given those active warrants, with one being for a probation violation and that FTA out of 2007, the state is going to recommend a $1,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Nothing further from the state.
Ms. Melnick?
Yes, Your Honor. If you notice, the address is on Cheshire Bridge. It was next to the gas station. The defendant was merely cutting through the property to get to the gas station. He has holds on him in DeKalb and Douglas. We're asking for a $1,000 signature bond so that he can go and address the issues in other counties.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to release him to the holds. It's going to be a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Mr. McHale. Stay away from the Cheshire Bridge Road address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Partridge.
Yes, sir.
Position 14, Terry. I don't know.
Good afternoon, Mr. Therian. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 22 CR 005855B with possession and use of drug-related objects. Their history, Mr. Howard?
7 total. Last arrest was 2019 ag battery DV. He's on probation for that 19 SC 168058. 2018 reckless conduct arrest. 2018 trespass conviction. I'm not sure what happened with that battery DV. 2009 disorderly conduct. And an 08 trespass.
Okay, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place on August 29th, 2022. Officer Falks was patrolling the area of 232 Forsyth Street Southwest at the Greyhound station. He witnessed the defendant with a glass pipe in his mouth, with a lit lighter in his hand, and was apparently about to smoke drugs. As Officer Falks approached the defendant, he put the pipe through the fence and pressed it into the dirt beside him. At that time, Officer Falks took the defendant into custody without incident and recovered the glass stem and 2 lighters. As pretrial mentioned, the defendant had some history and was on probation. This incident would be a violation of his probation. The state is going to recommend a $1,000 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
So they did not find any drugs in the And he's not charged with any drug charges. Is that right, Mr. Dudley?
Possession and use of drug-related object, not.
Not with drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be $1,000 signature bond through the jail and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you, Ms. Melnick?
That was what I was going to ask for, Your Honor.
Okay. Were you asking for a stay away, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor, we were asking for a stay away from that incident location,
Which is,
232 Forsyth Street Southwest at the Greyhound Station.
okay, and stay away from the Greyhound Station on Forsyth Street. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Petition 15, Waters.
Good afternoon, Mr. Waters. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Waters, you've been charged in case 22 CR 005856Y with battery. It's your history, Mr. Howard? You with me, Mr. Howard?
Yeah, I'm looking at something.
Okay.
Your Honor, while he's getting into the history, I would just like to make it known that this is actually a battery family violence case, although it was incorrectly filed down as a battery.
$20 total. Last arrest was back in January for felony theft by receiving misdemeanor possession of marijuana. It says transfer. Let's see, 2020 suspended license, it was dismissed. 2019 possession of a Schedule 1 misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Another possession of a Schedule 1 possession of drug-related objects. 2014 suspended license NOLO. 2014 probation. 2013 FTA trespass. 2011 FTA. 2010 simple battery DV conviction. Oh no, that was dismissed. It was dismissed. Out of Union City. That's it. Most of his history is driving.
Okay, thank you. And tell me again, Mr. Dudley, has this been accused as a battery family violence, or is that something that you anticipate doing?
Well, I'm going to correct it after court today, Your Honor. Just wanted to bring that to your attention that it is going to be accused as a battery family violence.
Okay. And has it already been accused as a battery?
The accusation has went through, yes, but.
Okay, all right. I understand. Go ahead, Mr. Dudley.
Okay. This incident took place on August 29th, 2022 at 2087 Brent Creek Way Southwest. The defendant attacked the victim, Cortina, Cortina Walker, by striking her with his hands and his feet. During the attack, he also threw Miss Walker to the ground. Miss Walker had bruises and scrapes on her body. That responding officer, Hampton, immediately noticed red bruising on her face, her body, and he noticed a Band-Aid that she was wearing on her left elbow. Our victim advocate was able to get in contact with the victim, and the victim stated that her and the defendant are no longer in a relationship. They no longer live together, and they share no children. She stated that the lease to the apartment is almost up, and she's in the process of moving. She stated that she does not want the defendant to return back to the residence, and that the defendant is supposed to go stay with his mother. She stated that this is not the first time that the defendant has been physically violent with her, but this is the first time that he has been arrested. She stated she wants no contact and to stay away from the residence. And I believe the victim is on Zoom. If not, I would like to just the sound for her. Your Honor, given the multiple FTAs that were mentioned by pretrial, the state has a concern that the defendant is a potential flight risk. Given what the victim told us that this has happened on numerous occasions before, although he was not arrested for them previously, the state has a concern for a risk of reoffense. And we're going to recommend a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right, Ms. Melnick.
Yes, I'm quoting pretrial. There were no convictions, and he, as pretrial said, most of the history was driving related offenses. We have no objection to the stay away, and to have no contact. If he were to be released, we're asked, he would go to 556 Post Oak Road in Jonesboro, Georgia, again, because he has no prior convictions and no of violent history. I know he has driving offenses, Your Honor. We're asking for a $1,000 signature bond on this case.
And let's see, Ms. Walker, I see you there. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. You do not have to address the court, but if you would like to, you'll have to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. So if you would like to address the court now, is your opportunity. All right, Ms. Walker, I will take it that you do not wish to address the court since I have not seen any movement as far as unmuting yourself and activating your camera. As such, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Ms. Walker. Stay away from the 2082 address. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Waters.
Position 6, Jones.
That is the one where a breakout was requested, Your Honor.
Okay, who needs to be in the breakout room?
Myself, I believe PD Gant and Mr. Dudley.
Okay, and is there a history, Mr. Howard?
9 total. 2014 simple battery conviction. 2021 FTA for simple battery. That's the Georgia history. You got history out of South Carolina. Last arrest there was arson second degree conviction from 02.
Okay. So if you can put us into a breakout room with Ms. Bridgewater also. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. I have had an opportunity to discuss your matter with your attorney and the state. And your bond's going to be a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Collins. Stay away from MARTA, given that there's an active MARTA suspension in place for a year's time, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
What is a good bond?
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Jones.
That was fun too.
Thank
All right,
you.
Judge, we're completed here in courtroom 2.
All right, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
All right. Let's see, Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be September the 13th. Position number 1 is reset, further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 4, SAP calendar with a $1,000 total good bond. Position 5 is reset further notice with a $3,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 6 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 7, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 8 is going to the SAP calendar with a $7,500 good bond. Position 9 going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 10, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Position 11, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Position 12, reset further notice with a $5,000 through the jail. Position 13, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 14, reset further notice with the $1,000 SOB through the jail. And position 15, I'm showing that it's being changed to a battery family violence. Also reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Any corrections, comments, or otherwise?
But it's been accused as a battery at the present time, right? So the paperwork should say battery at this time until it's amended.
I thought he said it had been changed. So are we going with just the battery?
Yes, yes, Ms.
Okay.
Bridgewater, it hasn't been amended yet, but it will be subsequent to court.
I have it.
All right. All right, thank you all. We will see you tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
Before we
Have a
go,
good day.
Your
Yeah,
Honor,
y'all be safe.
Your Honor,
Okay, Jack.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I wanted to see if I can get the conditions on position number 9.
You have that, Ms. Bridgewater?
I certainly do. No further contact with Tykeria Robinson to stay away from 2145 O'Hara Place. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or firearms.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
You're more than
very good.
welcome.
All
Okay,
right. I'll await the paperwork, Ms. Bridgewater. Thank you.
it's on the way.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.